So good day, my name is Steven John Dagsuan, and today we will be having a demo that evolves a legacy media player into a modular streaming suite. And the key ideas is for the adapters for different sources, a proxy cache for remote streams, playlist as composites, renderer as a strategy, and plugins as a decorator chain. The facade also centralizes orchestration. So here in our code, you can see in the demo 1 is to play the main playlist. The facade is running and involves starting playback for the main playlist. It opens the playlist and plays the track, the intro video, and also keeps the source of the local file in the videos. And for the software renderer, it renders using CPU decoding and then plays the track at live HLS. Same in the rendering using CPU decoding, and then opens a playlist for the extras and plays the track. And that would be the end of the playlist, the extras and the main playlist. And then back to the facade playback finished for the main playlist. For the demo number 2, which is to switch to hardware renderer and play single track. The facade renders switch to hardware renderer and starts playback for live HLS, and then plays the track. For the hardware renderer, it renders using GPU acceleration, and then the facade is lastly to go playback finished for live HLS. Next is the cache proxy source in the demo number 3, which is to apply plugins like equalizer to subtitles and then watermark and play remote cache stream. The facade gets the plugin chain updated, then starts the playback for remote featurette. It plays the track, then puts all the subtitle plugin, equalizer plugin, and back to the hardware renderer, which renders using GPU acceleration. Then the equalizer plugin will be applied. Also, the subtitle plugin will be rendered in the top of the stream. Of course, the watermark for the overlay and the remote token, and then lastly to the facade for the playback finished for remote featurette. For the demo number 4 is the removing of the watermark plugin at runtime. Facade plugin, chain updated, then starts the playback for the remote featurette, then plays the track, then the subtitle plugin and equalizer plugin both load and apply the EQ preset. Then the hardware renderer renders using GPU acceleration. So it's the same in the demo number 3, but this time the plugin update and then the equalizer for the applying EQ preset. So same in the subtitle plugin, it renders subtitles on top of stream. For the demo number 5, it play the main playlist with hardware and plugins. So same thing, the facade starts the playback for the main playlist, then opens the playlist, then plays the track, and then subtitle and equalizer plugin, load the subtitles, and of course apply the EQ preset wrap. And then renders using GPU acceleration, and backs to the subtitle, and equalizer, same hardware renderer, use the GPU acceleration. So that's pretty much it of all the demos. Then demo complete and end of simulation. So here we have architecture overview. So the overview for this is the refactored version of a simple media player that supports multiple media sources. feature plugins, composite playlists, and dynamic rendering. It follows a modular design using several structured design patterns to make system flexible, extendable, and easy to maintain. So the key components are media source for the interface. It represents any playable media like local file, remote stream, or API source. For the number 2, we have the media source adapter. It adapts different source formats into a common interface. Next is the media player. It is the central class that coordinates media playback, decorators, and renderer switching. Next is the renderer, which is also an interface. It handles rendering logic and can be a hardware or software based. Next is the playlist component, which is an abstract class, and it allows composite playlist plus media item. For the number 6 are the decorators, like the subtitle, watermark, and equalizer. It adds extra features on top of playback dynamically. And lastly is the remote proxy. It just handles caching and remote fetching of media streams. And here are the structural patterns used. The adapter pattern to unify access to multiple media types like local, HLS, remote API. Composite pattern to handle nested playlist and sub-playlist. Next is the decorator pattern, is to add visual and audio effects dynamically. Next is the bridge pattern. It uses to separate the player logic from rendering implementations. Lastly is of course the proxy pattern to optimize and cache remote streaming. Now for the component interaction, the media player loads a media source through a media source adapter. The media player uses a renderer, hardware software, to display or play media. Next in the component is a playlist can contain both single media items and other sub-playlists. Then before rendering, the media may pass through several decorator layers like the subtitles and watermark. And then if the source is remote, it may be accessed via a remote proxy to improve performance. So here are the UML for the sequence apply decorator. Here's the UML diagram. As you can see, this is the user, media player. They're connected to a play method, and the renderer and the media player connects to the decorator. It applies decorator using the apply decorator method, then render with effects to the renderer, and the renderer back to the user, showing enhanced output. Next is the sequence play media. So this is almost the same as the user play to the media player, and the media player loads the media to the media source. Then of course the data will be rendered through the renderer and then back to the user, showing the output. Next is the UML class diagram. Here, the equalizer decorator has a method play, the watermark decorator, subtitle decorator. The three of them have play method to call. Then the playlist have three, the add, remove, and play, and contains playlist component and can call the method play. Then below that is the software renderer and the hardware renderer. Both have the render method to be called. Then the media player has the set renderer and play that uses renderer to render. Then the media source adapter with the play, the local file, the HLS stream, the remote API, media item, media decorator, remote proxy. All have the play method, and the three, the local file, HLS stream, and remote API implements to the media source, while the media item has and media decorator wraps, and the remote proxy delegates to the media source. So that's basically all it about the modular media suite. Thank you so much.